And this edition of Southern Newsweek, embattled MP Todd Barclay makes an announcement regarding his plans for the next election. The annual Winter Festival gets underway in Queenstown and work begins on a multi-million-dollar upgrade for Dunedin Hospital. Kia ora, I'm Holly Buchanan. Clutha Southland Member of Parliament Todd Barclay has announced he will not seek re-election at the general election later this year. Barclay has been embroiled in controversy over allegations he secretly recorded the conversations of one of his Gore staff members. Barclay made his announcement after meeting senior National Party members this week. On the streets of Queenstown and Winton, the response was mixed.
He should be open and honest, straightforward, and be fair to the staff and be fair to the voters.
I think his integrity has
and
gone.
his party.
And how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm disappointed because I've been a National supporter most of my life, and I am disappointed in him.
What about you, sir?
I would say the same.
It's an invasion of the people's privacy. Everybody has a little whinge at work, so you don't want it being recorded, and then you don't want other people trying to cover it up. So I think he should resign, definitely.
How do you feel about his actions?
I think it's terrible. I think it's really disgraceful.
And what's your view on the National Party?
Well, I won't be voting for them. I think Bill English has told too many lies, to be honest, and I think Andrew Little's got a good point in saying, things like this should not happen to people.
Are you a National Party voter?
Normally.
Put our faith in politicians to run a country. And I mean, I'm not from this country, I'm from Australia. And if that would have happened in Australia, no doubt the Prime Minister would have stepped in and said, right, you step down.
Do you think he should resign?
I don't know. I think he needs to have a good look at himself and his maybe perhaps morals, how he goes about things.
It's not a good look for National because Todd Barclay was one of the younger members, and it's been a National seat for years and years through Bill English, so it will hurt down south anyway.
Oh, I think it's a shame. He's got a big future. He's a young man. Obviously made mistakes. We don't know the full details of what happened between him and his staff, but I think recording them and without telling them, bad move. Got to go.
I'm disappointed that he didn't do better. Being a young person, I thought would be a big advantage to get a few new young people in, but I didn't expect him to mess it up the way he has.
Yeah, well, I think probably that he's hurt National a wee bit with all these things that are going on. It's a fairly safe sort of National seat, Clutha Southland. I don't know the ins and outs of exactly what's happened, but it just wasn't a good look that all this had gone on, really.
North Canterbury has been experiencing rapid growth since the 2010 and 2011 earthquakes as families have relocated. As a result, local schools have been bulging at the seams. This year, 10 new modern learning environments are being opened at schools across the Waimakariri district. The largest is a $14.9 million new development at Rangiora High School, which opened at the start of this term.
And so we've got 5 teachers per hub, teaching hub, and a hub of about 60 students being taught. And as you go through here, you'll see different size of hubs and different types of furniture and that sort of thing. The name Rakahuri is our local river, Ashley River, and as you see it on the floor through here, the river runs through the middle of the building, and as you move out from it, the carpet tiles go to green and then eventually to polished concrete, which is the mountains, etc.
It's believed to be the South Island's largest school classroom and is big enough to house 600 students. Deputy Principal of Rangiora High School, Brian Hayes, says the building will future-proof the school against roll growth for about 2 years. Queenstown has been busy getting ready to welcome winter in style. The Queenstown Winter Festival celebrations began on Thursday, which organisers say coincided with the first light at the end of 2017's shortest day. Mina Amso has the update.
Bright lights, fireworks and star attractions, Queenstown's 43rd annual Winter Festival is expected to draw thousands of people to the southern resort this weekend to celebrate the season in the Southern Hemisphere. Queenstown Winter Festival Director Lisa Buckingham says this year's Winter Festival will have events jam-packed into 4 days.
There's lots of mountain action, plenty of lakefront action, you know, crazy people jumping into the lake with their contraptions. There's also lots of kind of fine dining. We've got an après-ski bar and dining program, so lots to do in the evenings. Comedy, there's lots of family stuff.
One of the new items on the menu is a new special festival welcome on Thursday night.
Sure, we've got Maori Wakaama Club, the Wakatipu Wakaama Club, that are coming and paddling into shore, being met by Ngāi Tahu Tangata Whenua, and so that's going to be really special, and that really kicks things off. And we've got Aniki Maua playing that night as well.
Buckingham says the new opening night program will bring together traditional Maori culture in Queenstown in a way not seen at the festival before. 2,000 to 3,000 people are expected to ice skate at the festival's ice rink on the village green.
The ice rink here, it really sort of signals the start of things to come, and so we get excited as soon as we start building.
Some of New Zealand's new and well-known bands will be playing tunes including Aniki Maua, the Phoenix Foundation, Brentwood, Nomad and Shambles. The musicians are giving free concerts for the thousands of revellers expected to make the most of the 4-day festival. Mina Amso, The South Today.
An interactive art exhibition aims to raise money for a Timaru school. Students at ARA's Level 6 Arts and Media course have been working on an exhibition of their work under the theme Celestial Ceilings.
An interactive art exhibition aims to raise money for a Timaru school. Students at ARA's Level 6 Arts and Media course have been working on an exhibition of their work under the theme Celestial Ceilings. The organisers hope the project will generate funds for Highfield Primary School. The display will include an art installation of which visitors can be a part. Student Zoe Sturm says as part of their assessment they had to organise an event and had decided to host an exhibition.
Our exhibition is called Celestial Ceilings, and it's a fundraiser for Highfield School, and it's about showing the children that when community comes together, wishes can be made, and that's hopefully will empower them in the future.
She says the exhibition's aim is to make people think about what would you wish for. Sturm believes the community's wishes are being tied into the installation's theme.
It's a gold coin entry, and that goes to Highfield School.
She says the art students worked with pupils from Highfield Primary School last week to show them how to construct items out of paper. Celestial Ceilings opens on June 17th and runs until the 28th. Rachel Comer, The South Today.
Construction of the new multi-million-dollar intensive care unit at the Dunedin Hospital has begun. Over the weekend, a golden sledgehammer was used to begin demolition of a wall on the 5th floor of the hospital. Roselle Labone has more.
General Surgery Charge Nurse Manager Kirk Davidson got started early on the DIY this weekend. With a special golden sledgehammer, he began demolition of a wall on the 5th floor at Dunedin Hospital.
5, 4, 3, 2.
The hospital is receiving a multi-million-dollar upgrade, including a new intensive care unit, high dependency unit, and gastroenterology facilities. Construction began today, with work expected to be completed by 2018.
What we're actually celebrating today is the beginning of an event rather than, as is more usually the case, the completion of a project. And I think that that in itself tells you something about how important this project is.
The new gastroenterology facility will have 2 endoscopy rooms and admission, recovery and sterilising areas. The new ICU and HDU facilities will have 22 bed spaces combined to enable patients to transition between different levels of care in either direction without moving their physical location. A dedicated family room is also being created. Staff have paid to go into the draw to win the chance to use the golden sledgehammer, and the money raised will be used to buy artwork for the family room in the new facility. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Still to come on Southern Newsweek, we take a look at a new major road set to help ease Queenstown's traffic congestion, and a Dunedin school's mural takes out top honours in a national competition. Welcome back. Winter traffic congestion in Queenstown is expected to ease with the long-awaited Eastern Access Road project scheduled to open this week. The 2.5 kilometre, $25 million stretch of road at Frankton passes around the back of the Queenstown Airport runway. Mina Amso has been for an exclusive drive along the route.
The $25 million Eastern Access Road is designed to take the pressure off traffic clogging State Highway 6 between Glenda Drive and the BP roundabout in Frankton. Queenstown Lakes District Council Program Director Gareth Noble says Stage 1 of the project is timely and will help ease winter traffic between Queenstown and the Remarkables ski field.
It's a very busy period for that route with people accessing the ski slopes at Remarkables. Ultimately, some of that traffic is now going to be moving through the Stage 1 route. So Stage 1 takes you through from the State Highway through Hawthorne Drive, which was previously called the Eastern Access Road. It takes you through Remarkables Park onto the road, around the back of what we call the Risa, which is the extension to the runway at the airport, and into Glenda Drive. So the Glenda Drive section is the Stage 1 interim route.
Can't wait for it to happen actually, yeah. See a bit more traffic.
Lewis is concerned at how roads in Frankton will handle traffic coming through from the new Eastern Access Road.
Robertson Street, Humphrey and Douglas, we're a bit worried that it might turn into another McBride Street where people run through there to head south to Calvin Heights and Jack's Point, so we don't want that to happen in more streets in Frankton.
So obviously we hope that doesn't happen. We're putting signage up to encourage people to use this route rather than using those cut-throughs.
The project is being paid for by the Council and the New Zealand Transport Agency. The second and final stage, extending the road to a roundabout near the Pack and Save supermarket, is expected to be finished by Christmas. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Stewart Island oyster farmers are reportedly gutted at having to dump their stock. A Ministry for Primary Industries-led operation got underway this week to stop the spread of a lethal parasite from the farms in Big Glory Bay to the Fovo Straits wild oyster population. Here's Ruby Spink.
Tons of oysters being dumped near Invercargill. It's day 2 of the Ministry for Primary Industries ordered disposal of oysters from Stewart Island's Big Glory Bay commercial fisheries, and farmers are working quickly to comply. The oyster farms are being destroyed to prevent the spread of the deadly Bonamia austrae parasite to the wild oyster populations in the Fovo Strait. Sanford Chief Operating Officer Greg Johansson says the company is doing what it can for the future of the industry.
Well, obviously, as a company, we're gutted by the discovery of the disease in Stewart Island, everyone's just trying to cope with that and do the right thing and move on.
Cages in Stewart Island waters are being uplifted, oysters and all, disinfected, wrapped to prevent any liquids escaping, and transported by boat and truck to a landfill in Invercargill. The oysters in cages are being buried under lime and dirt to prevent vermin from transporting the infection further. Sanford plans to have all stocks removed by the end of next week, depending on weather conditions. But a time frame for rebuilding Stewart Island's oyster farms remains up in the air.
It's really going to be an MPI decision once the oysters are removed, and they then start a monitoring program of what, if any, impact there is in the bay. So then there'll be an issue of can it restart? If it restarts, will it be in the same area or will it be somewhere else? So it's very early and too early to say what that looks like going forward, but it's likely to be a wee way off in the future.
MPI is holding meetings with the Stewart Island and Bluff communities this week to discuss the situation further. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
A Dunedin school's mural design has taken out the top prize in this year's Keep New Zealand Beautiful wall-worthy competition. Those entering the contest presented ideas on enhancing the beauty of local areas through art. The artists and painters picked up a brush and spoke with Roselle Lebone about how the work came together.
This mural design, developed by Dunedin artist Ruan Barton, is set to grace the walls of Sacred Heart School. The design has won the Keep New Zealand Beautiful's War-Worthy competition. Sacred Heart parent Emmeline Kendrick says the mural design is a celebration of the school and what makes it special.
We just talked about this amazing community we live in and our wonderful school and all the things that are special about that.
Ideas just flowed, and I just love the school values and just love the multicultural nature of the school.
She says the children from Sacred Heart are all pitching in over the coming months to get the mural painted. The winners of the contest must present an artistic vision that celebrates and improves the beauty of the local environment. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
After the break on Southern Newsweek, left to pick up the pieces as vandals frustrate staff at Glenfelloch Gardens and hundreds flock to the Timaru Bird Show. Welcome back. Staff at Dunedin's Glenfelloch Gardens are frustrated with what they're calling mindless vandalism. The Trust's marketing manager says there is security on site and the police aren't involved.
Just an empty plinth remains where an ornate planter once stood. Otago Peninsula Trust marketing manager Sophie Barker is disappointed that persons unknown came to Glenfelloch Gardens recently just to wreck things.
When we arrived at work on Monday, the gardeners spotted that a couple of urns had been broken. So there's one that was broken right behind me and another one actually up behind the homestead. So it was very distressing. Obviously we work hard to make the garden attractive and beautiful for people to visit, and then this happens.
Having two urns smashed may not seem like a huge blow to the otherwise scenic gardens. But Barker says money doesn't grow on trees for anyone, let alone the Otago Peninsula Trust. And the cost of replacing the broken planters means something else may have to be deferred.
We're a not-for-profit trust, so we keep Glenfelloch open to the public by people can give small donations. A lot of people just in the neighbourhood come and use the garden. So of course this incurs extra cost on a trust that works hard to make any money at all.
She believes the incident may have happened on Friday night, as they've received reports of a noisy car driving in the gardens on Friday evening. Barker is stunned at the stupidity of the people or persons who did this.
It's just mindless vandalism. It really is. I don't know if they were feeling angry about something or whatever, but it is mindless. But it hurts people. It hurts people like us that work hard to have something where people can come and enjoy and relax, and then our hard work gets broken. And we just bought another urn, a matching urn for it, so we're very, very disappointed that was broken as well, because it's hard to search for these things and get them.
Sophie Barker says the historic visitor attraction does have security systems in place. However, she says improving their security would be a costly exercise. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
A bird show was held in Timaru at the Waimataitai School Hall recently, attracting hundreds of entrants from across the South Island. Rachel Comer has more.
9-year-old Toby Cuthbertson was the youngest entrant at this year's Timaru Bird Show, and several of his birds won awards. Toby inherited the pastime from his grandfather, show organiser Bruce Carton.
Well, my granddad was doing them, so I just wanted to do them.
Toby's birds won Best Gloucester Canary in the show, Best Novice and Best Junior. He says he has no special secret to raising winning birds, and he is happily surprised by his achievement. Bruce Carton says the annual show attracted 575 entrants from throughout the South Island. The weekend show featured a range of birds, including canaries, finches and budgies. Rachel Comer, The South Today.
And finally, a turnout of 52 karters enjoyed the thrills of grass racing at the Ashburton Family Go-Kart Club's monthly gathering on Sunday. Club Vice President Michael Gallagher says the course has proven popular because of its challenging hilly terrain, with this Sunday's turnout one of the biggest. Gallagher's 6-year-old son Ryan, who is a current New Zealand midget kart champion, was among the racers. Top go-karters clocked close to 100 kilometres an hour on the marked 1 kilometre circuit, and people gathered from Timaru to Christchurch to watch. And that's all for Southern Newsweek. Get online and check us out on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, or you can keep up with Southern News via our website, channel39.co.nz. I'm Holly Buchanan. Thanks for watching.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.